Grand Risings. Just want to talk about some stuff. I want to talk about how even the symptoms we deal with, how they all come from the same source. I want to talk about how the dating market is not competitive. It's rigged. And I want to talk about how we need to or why we need to have a farmers revolution. Just want to speak on that because we were led to this industrial revolution. And I want to speak on that in regards to how we were programmed and or forcefully taught to see money as God. Just want to speak on it a little bit. That's all. And that's some more words into the world's spiritual bottom line. That's all. But the first one though, how symptoms come from the same source. What's an example of a symptom? A withdrawal, right? Symptoms come from the same source. Why do I say things like as a withdrawal for an example? Because if you think about it, who gave us drugs? Why do we have drugs in our society? Who came up with the idea for us to have drugs in our community? Who did it? It was the enemy or the government or the recessive people who give power to the enemy's body, because it is only the recessive people who are giving power to the enemy's body. As far as the melanated sellouts that we have, they're only being overwhelmingly brainwashed to participate in what the recessive people are giving to the power of the enemy, or giving to the enemy's body, because they all make up the enemy's body. They all do, whether they like it or not, honestly. That's the unfortunate part about it, really, because even the ones who are literally innocent, meaning the 0 point, possibly, I want to say 0.3, no, 0.00345% of them are innocent, maybe, out of the other 99 and some change, 99 and some change percent that are innocent, actually, or that are guilty. It's about 99 and some change percent that are guilty just based on their behavior. And then there are about 0.045 of them that are actually innocent. Just getting even a speck of it off just endangers life. Isn't that something? Just imagine what would happen to the reality that we have today if they actually succeeded in making their hatred for us a social norm. Take a look at how Iran is, or Iraq. You do know that every country is experiencing the exact same thing we are here in America, just in a different format. I want you to think about something. Every person on the planet is our people. They really are. If the enemy has the ability to turn the recessive Negroes into what they are, meaning you have the ability to cause multiple things to be in one reality, what makes you think that just because someone is on a different part of the planet, they are not of the same species, or how they were born in a different world? We are all the same. We were all built from the same blueprint. Everybody was. Symptoms come from the same source, though. I wanted to start off talking about that. What's an example of one? Withdrawal from something. Drugs come from the enemy, the recessive body. They're the ones that ensured that drugs would be in our community. Remember that the entire infrastructure of this world is only in its workings to ensure that we suffer endlessly for no reason at all, to be in some kind of endless conflict, some kind of fighting, some kind of problem, some kind of trial or tribulation. That is what this infrastructure is built for us to experience on a daily basis, for us to walk step by step through curses. The enemy, it is the beginning and the ending. That is what the true enemy is. Remember, the recessive people, they only give power to the beast due to how the overwhelming amounts of indoctrination have hit them so long ago, and how they've been teaching their children, and then their children grow up and teach their children, and so on and so forth. Their curse is what makes them, the curse that is on them is what makes them the oppressor, so to speak. But in reality, it's just an entrenchment. It's just an entrenchment. Are they guilty? Should we forgive them? No, we just need to stop them. Though we don't need to forgive or try to communicate or associate. We just need to stop them from what they're doing, because here's the thing, they don't even know what they're doing. But we do, because we're on the receiving end. They were just taught not to care. Is it their fault? No and yes at the same time. You gotta understand, this is all people at play. This is just life against life. But moving forward, symptoms come from the same source. Withdrawals, for an example, if you ever notice, when you pull a TV or a device away from your child, what does it do? It gets mad or angry, or it has tantrums because it wants it back. You see, it wants what it just had back, because it was, in a sense, addicted to it, just like a drug can be, that came from the enemy that we just talked about momentarily. Now that you know who the actual enemy is. Those who work for the enemy are not necessarily the enemy. Like I said, they just need to be stopped, not forgiven or talked to, just stopped. Symptoms come from the same source. What's another example of a symptom? Another example of a symptom would be something like a habit, right? Or, like I said, an addiction. I have posted in the short of the entrenchment, the principles of how the entrenchment works. Gluttony is within the category of the behavior. The source of evil ensures that we will all be gluttonous for this world, or for what it is overwhelmingly pushing us to behave as, or overwhelmingly indoctrinating our character to give our behavior its principal drive, or its principal foundation, or its disposition. This world is driving us mad intentionally, long story short. And in the madness, it inspires us, well, not the world itself, but the ethos of the world. I just want to be more specific as to who I'm talking about, or what I'm talking about, because here's the reality. What you all know as white people are not the actual enemy in this world. It is what's telling them to be stupid, because people can't be evil. I honestly believe this because I know what people really are. People can't be evil. They can be stupid, especially if something beats them to death for eons to ensure they'd be stupid enough to do what they are doing. All for their fairy tales. And now they're gluttonous for these fairy tales. And the only thing that they are doing is ensuring that we cannot live good. They took the life we had, and they are wearing it in front of us incorrectly, just to get us pissed off about it. Well, then again, y'all don't see all that I see when it comes to how this is all operating here. You don't see what I see. Maybe you will someday, if somebody talks about it. Moving forward, though, symptoms come from the same source of evil. The bad symptoms, meaning all things evil come from the same source of evil. All things good come from the same source of good. All things balanced come from the same source of balance. They all do. All three of them. Moving forward, though, symptoms come from the same source. Take that with you how you would like to. I give you permission to take these words and use them. I give you permission to take these words if they can help. If it's possible that these words can help, use them. I want to talk about how the dating market is actually rigged now. It's not competitive, it's rigged. Remember, people naturally speaking, meaning from the power of the heart of hearts that I now know the truth of, the power of the heart of hearts is what gives people their abilities to live, period. Everything outside of that is something that was altered or rearranged. But the heart of hearts was never touched. It was never hurt or never struck. That is who we truly are. That is what governs. That is what our actual foundational internal disposition really is. The heart of hearts. The soul, self, common sense. Many different names, one method of operation. Give you life and your abilities to live them accurately. Many different names, one method of operation. Give you your life and your abilities to live them accurately. But what happens if someone steps in and alters your abilities to live them accurately? Then what? You will live them inaccurately, wouldn't you? Just common sense, man. Did you notice that having a body piercing of any sort, or a body altering or a body modification or mutilation is immoral? Did you know that? Why? Because your body came with the part of you that was chopped off or cut open or altered or manipulated. It is immoral to alter one's body because your body is connected to your morals, just like your spirit is connected to you. You want to know another thing the spirit is? Many different names, one method of operation. Spirit is consciousness or the conscious mind. What is the literal meaning of spirit? What is the literal meaning of it? Or how many things are out here not based on feelings, based on what you have gathered via knowledge to label and describe the actions and or traits and or qualities of spirit? What are the standards of spirit? What's spirit like? What are the details? Can you go in on some details about what spirit is? Do you even know what spirit is? Can you ask a Christian directly, what is the spirit, literally and or metaphorically, and some simple answers? And he can give you or she can give you a simple answer. No, they cannot. You want to know why? Because all the symptoms come from the same source, like confusion or like complications, keeping things complicated, consistent deflections. You cannot keep anything simple at all. It just has to be complicated at all times. It all comes from the same source of evil. Everything that is weird or out of place, that didn't come from us. That came from the source of evil. The dating market is rigged, not competitive. We all came from the same blueprint, one that was good. We were just beaten into something stupid so we can act something different, which is incorrectly. Fighting each other, being competitive with each other all the time. It is not good for any man to sacrifice his humanity for a woman. It ain't good. I get how the indoctrination works. The indoctrination source is about death, killing, seeing things stop moving, stagnates. That's what the primary agenda that's what the primary objective of the agenda is, to stop good from being good. That's what it's all about, really. So when you think about it in this regard for a second, the dating market is rigged. Any form of mutilation is immoral. The thing is, the spirit is connected to your body as your body is connected with your morals and your spirit. So anything that alters or rearranges becomes immoral. It becomes unsettled. It becomes incorrect. And then afterwards, you are told to compete with your brethren. You are told this. It's all in our songs. Mr. Steal Your Girl? Come on, yo. It's all in our songs. It's all in everything that that is being forced into our head and plunged into our head night and day. Be competitive. We are being told to be competitive. We are not naturally competitive. You need to stop believing that all that this world has taught you is who we naturally are. It is wrong. It is a lie. You have been lied to about everything. You have been lied to about everything you ever heard of in your entire life. All of it. The dating market is rigged. Why do I say that now? Our women are naturally virtuous, meaning they have high moral standards, just regular old high moral standards. That's all. The thing is, the indoctrination makes them overwhelmingly high. So if anything is wrong with you, any little pinch is wrong with you, they'll just reject you. But the thing is, because of how we are connected spiritually, it is hard to live without women. Actually, it is impossible for man to live without woman. It is impossible for us to, due to how our bodies are connected spiritually. I want to say this randomly real quick. One thing I can't stand about the full awareness of the spiritual infrastructure is this, or one thing I can't stand about it is this, because of the overwhelming amounts of division going on in the world. And it's only due to the war that we're in, only due to the spiritual warfare that we're in. I can't stand this. Spiritual reactions from spiritual contact. Remember, the spirit is all non-physical, so nothing is actually touching you, but it can touch you in a sense. Watch, this is how it can. Have you ever noticed when someone looks at you, how you can just turn directly at them and look at them in the eyes? Want to know why that happens? It's called spiritual contact to create a spiritual reaction. That's all it is. We naturally respect the spirit, so anything that it wants us to do, we're going to do it. We naturally respect it. We naturally stand on good principles. We do. There is just so much y'all don't know. But moving forward, the dating market is rigged, not competitive. They are telling us to be competitive with each other because they want us to sacrifice our humanity for our women. They want us to be evil, angry, upset, pissed off, deprived men nonstop, night and day. That's what they want. That's what they want, man. Who is they? Well, if I tell you, you won't listen. So I'm going to just say the government. Moving forward, though. They want us deprived night and day. The more men are deprived, meaning that the more men cannot give their love, not be loved, give their love, they will give the opposite of love, which is hatred. Everything in this world wants you to hate something. Be at war, constant conflict with something. Be divided from everything that gives you a normal life, and from each other, and from your power. What is the literal meaning of power? The ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty, meaning mental faculty, because your powers are connected to your mental capabilities and your mental faculties like senses. Think about it. Or quality, especially as a faculty or quality. So what the literal meaning of power is, the ability to do something. What kind of things have power? Humanity. Life power. Life is meant to be balanced. Life is meant to be fair. It is. We are under attack. None of this is right for us. We shouldn't need money to eat. It is all wrong. Moving to the farmers' revolution now. But first, I'm going to finish off why the dating market is rigged. We're being told to be competitive with each other. We're not naturally competitive. Men are born with value. It's just taken away from you as soon as you're born. They take your value as soon as you're born so you can go through all the nightmares and garbage that they want you to go through. They want you to go through this pain or process to an early grave or process to a quick grave. They want you to go through it. They actually need you to, because our enslavement is their survival. Our enslavement is their survival, meaning they cannot live any other way other than us being enslaved under them. No, I'm not talking about the recessives. Remember, every recessive on the planet just works for them after they got genetically modified, beaten half to death, and brainwashed to do so. 2,000 years ago, according to some stories. But then you dig deeper, you found out it was 6,600 years ago. Believe if you want or not, doesn't matter. Just gonna post it on the internet because I know what it's gonna do for the family once they hear it. All of us, every country, we're everywhere. The people with the visible soul skin are everywhere. We are. You just don't believe it because you were told not to. But in reality, we all just came from one tribe globally. We were all just that, like not too long ago. You forget we are millions of years old. We are a millions of years old species. Millions of years old. There's just a new face on the same enemy that we have always had for all of this time. Just another new face. That's all. This enemy that we up against wears many faces. This is the one that it wears currently, which you all know as them folks, right? Did you call them folks? I know what they really are. I know what they really are. Us. Just genetically modified and told to believe something different. That's it. As we all are. Y'all will get it one day. Y'all will stop them. No forgiving. No reasoning, because they can't even look. All the symptoms come from the same source. So the unaccountable nature, the desire to just not hear reasoning, all of that comes from the same source. They cannot be reasoned with due to who put the mindset in their head. They are virtually literal hollow vessels, yea, who work for this demon. Once we stop them, there's a possibility that we're gonna have to save. Then again, no, maybe not. I don't even need to say that. It's just a weapon is a weapon. Take everything the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good. That's my biggest thing. Plus, I know how the whole outcome is going to be anyways, because of how many of us that are still programmed to believe we should love our enemy. When in reality, that is nonsense. Why would you love the shadow of death? That's what they literally are, the personification of the shadow of death. Take this parable with you right quick. Closer you get to God, the closer the devil gets to you. You know what the devil represents? Death. You know what your shadow represents? What's right next to you, right by you, so close to you that it's not even apart from you at all. It's right there with you and on you. That's what a shadow represents, right? The closer you get to God, meaning the closer you get to the knowledge and awareness of who God is truly, or the closer you get to the knowledge and power of God, should I say. How about the knowledge and power of God? Just the knowledge and power of God, the true God, the power inside of humanity that gives us life. Believe it if you want to or not. Doesn't matter, I'm just going to say it anyways. Something needs to help this end faster. The power of God, the knowledge and power of God inside of humanity. The closer you get to that, meaning the closer you get to awareness of who you are and why you're here and who this enemy really truly is for us and towards us and against us. Thing is, when you grasp that knowledge, every little confusion, tricknology that they try to use on us to label and describe why wanting to escape bondage needs to be a statement that we should accept as true, which would prevent us, or trick us into believing that we shouldn't try to escape this. All of that will dissipate. All of it will. It will all dissipate from your mind. It all will. And you will finally pull away from it. But you will have withdrawal symptoms because all the symptoms come from the same source. These people who are sellouts, who getting baptized in all this materialism so they can just keep on turning on their people. Remember these words right quick. Rizza Islam said these words right quick. Rizza Islam said these words, and he said them perfectly. He said, just because you put a black face on the so-called white supremacy, just because you put a so-called black face, he didn't say so-called, but I'm going to say so-called because I don't look at you as colors. I don't see you as colors or races. I just see you as the people that you are. or what you are. Who art thou? That is what I see you as. Who art thou? I don't see you as what this world forces you to believe you are. You are not multiple peoples. You are not multiple different races. You are one race, one species, one type of being, God. Believe if you want. I don't care. Just going to say it. Put it out here. Moving forward, though. Yeah. But what Reza Islam said, just because you put a so-called black face on so-called white supremacy, that does not make it black supremacy. Does not make it black supremacy. Just because you put a so-called black face on a so-called white supremacy, that does not make it black supremacy at all. We were not really, if you look at it logically speaking, we were not really meant to dominate or rule anything. This is what we have been told. We have been told we were meant to dominate and rule things and conquer and we were just told that. In reality, we are just meant to live with nature. That is it. We are beings of nature. That is what we are. How we decide to live in nature? Yeah, we can have astronauts, we can have architects, we can have astrologists, or we can have agriculturalists, anatomists. We can have all of those things. We can. We're going to need them anyways. The thing is, we should not be subdued to an industrial revolution. We need to have this type of reality in a farmer's revolution or a farmer's world. An industrial revolution is what led us here today. So a farmer's revolution was what's going to take us back to normal. Just want to throw those words out there real quick. And I also want to add this one last note. Money is not the root of all evil. Only the people who decide it is. Whatever the people want is what is reality, bro. Insist. Family, all of you. Whatever you want is what manifests. Whatever you all want. What do you all want? Do you want to keep living in consistent wars? Well, keep on following what this government is telling you to do. You want to live in peace? Live by the ways of what's internal. It's what's internal versus what's external. That's what it's all going to boil down to in a moment. Or at least through this talking phase right here, when it's all just talking and no violence and no killing and no nothing. It's just people coming to the awareness of what's internal versus what's external. What do you want to live by? The rules, the laws or regulations of what's internal, which are no laws, just free will and peace, love, unity, and advancement? Or do you want to live by what's external, where everything is forced and it's war, hatred, division, and stagnant? It's cursed into laws and cursed into having to deal with forced social norms of race hatred. I don't believe in the ism because it's just an act of evil against a group of people. Therefore, race hatred, not ism. Please stop. I know how dangerous it is. It's just ask for it to end. But I'll go ahead and close it out. Just wanted to get those words off my chest. Or say some words out loud. How did those words even get to my chest in the first place, huh? Why do I have words like this on my chest to get off? I have no desire to be your king or your leader. I only desire to defend and protect you. Or do something that will. Somehow. There's been a lot of changes. I see them. Gonna make some more soon. Got a lot coming. You'll see. But here's some more words to say to close it out. I only desire to defend and protect you. Therefore, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Matthew 22:39. Defend your neighbor as you defend yourself. Be lifted in the spirit and walk good forever. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family. Remember your way. John 14:6.